A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air. It gasps in the air, struggling for the breath to speak. Its own blood froths at its mouth.
No! Die here! Monsters in the water! Monsters in the deep! Monsters bigger! More and more growing!
It summons the energy to snap at you, thrashing in the sand. You jump back.
No! Die here! Monsters in the water! Monsters in the deep! Monsters in the deep!
The shark lays there, gasping quietly in the sun. It lays there, gasping.
That void woken had someone in its claws.
What happened here?
A Magister caravan? I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy. But what happened here?
Not true. Can't be true. No, no, no! Can't be real. Not real. Not happening. No, it's not true. Can't be true. No, no, no! Can't be real. Not real. Not happening. No, it's not true. Can't be true.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Get back! I'll kill you, just like the rest of them!
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No, 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 no. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Her eyes widen and lose focus, as though she's seeing something played out before them. Her voice is shaky when she speaks.
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. 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 And the sorcerers. Sorcerers. Gone.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. I don't know. Old Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss Lohar will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember. No. No. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Seven Sympathy. I saw those things dragging the sorcerers along the cliffs towards the Wreckers' caves. No more. It's gone.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you.
That doesn't sound promising, does it? Makes my bones itch.
Come on, come on! Looky here, Bugs.
Work, work, work. That's all there was in Driftwood for a dwarf like you. Until you got involved in the anti-magister resistance. Then, the work was still there, but also purpose. Purpose worth dying for. A boy at swim. Your name is Joe. You're 9. You're brave. You're off to see your mum. A shadow moves below you. A jagged vice closes on your thigh and pulls you down. Water fills your lungs. Blood billows. Eloisa was the prettiest girl, not to others, but to you. Her luminous eyes shone brighter than the moon. The day you collared her for Fort Joy, you wept every tear you had. You never cried again. You stride past the chained sorcerers and climb onto the caravan without complaint. As you settle onto the bench, you offer Ralik's blessings to the Magister Guard. He offers only a bleary-eyed stare of disinterest in return before shoving the chained sorcerers aboard. As you watch them cower, you cannot help but feel annoyance. After all, don't they know they're going to be saved? Warm red wine flows down your throat. The languor of a tavern evening soothes you. Suddenly, shrieks rend the night. The Magisters have come. Warm red blood flows down your face. Collared by Magisters in the far north, you are force-marched to this foreign land. A moment of hope as a grinning dwarf removes your source collar. Seconds later, void-woken death. You twist your head around as the Magisters haul you away. Your wife and 2 boys stand in the doorway, helpless. You commit their faces to memory one last time. Wendy cries out something to you. You tell yourself it was, "I love you," or "We'll wait for you." But the truth is, you didn't catch it. The farm recedes from view behind you. From the dark, you stare up at the thin slivers of light visible between the floorboards. Shadows ripple across the slivers, accompanied by heavy footsteps, Magister footsteps. Wood creaks above your head. One of them has paused. Your breath catches in your throat as you wait for him to move along. But the hatch is suddenly yanked open. Light floods you, blinding and accusatory. You hear only one gruffly barked word before the hands seize you. Gotcha!
Looky here, Bugs.
You remember a cold childhood in a no-hope fishing town, bullied mercilessly by a dwarf named Lohar. With no other prospects, you sign up as a Magister, eager for the power denied you all your life.
Looky here, Bugs. Come on, come on!
The little boy lobs a stone across the river. It makes a long arc before plunging into the water below.
Oh, Ma! Are you all right? Ma! Huh? Please, you have to help her. There was a fight. Some dwarves attacked some magisters, and there were sorcerers too. And then the bugs came, those void things. They killed everyone. And my mom got them to chase her. And she went across the bridge. And then she raised the bridge and she told me to run. And now she's stuck over there with them. Not without Ma. Family doesn't just leave each other. If those things get to Ma, they can get to me too. Are you going to help me?
Listen, Ma's in our house across the river. The bugs haven't gotten in yet. I know she's inside. All you need's a way across. Ma lifted the bridge, but there's got to be another way, right? What should I do?
His gaze shoots to the ground. He grabs a small, flat pebble and chucks it across the river. Again, it lands in the water below, well before reaching the other side of the cliffs.
I'll keep distracting him.
He performs a divine order salute.
Now go out, Ma! Ma, can you hear me? Looky here, bugs. Oh! Ma, can you hear me? Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Looky here, bugs. Ma, can you hear me? Ma, can you hear me? Ma, can you hear me? Oh! 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 Looky here, bugs. Looky here, bugs. Oh! Oh! Ma, can you hear me? Looky here, bugs. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on.
And who are you? Oh, never mind, no time. Hurry on in and gear up. There's a void woken right out the front door. Barin? He's still out there? Damn it, I told him to go back into town. We gotta do this fast. Let's get those bugs out of here. You in?
She snorts and tosses a grenade from palm to palm with ease.
I could turn an anthill into a crater from a quarter of a mile off. With both of us geared to the teeth, we'll make short work of these beasties. You ready or not? I'm retired Divine Order, you know. I ain't scared of a fight. You step out that door, I'm coming after you. You'll be glad I do. You can hang your hat on that. I got all the fixings here for every kind of bomb, grenade, missile, and shell you can imagine. Make what you want and then let's go!
Rather large for a cellar, isn't it? I'm sure there must be a safety switch down here somewhere.
A spillage all over the floor. You're too large for this.
Ready, set, squash!
I'll yield to none.
me good.
Mari flashes a massive horsey smile at you, then winces, clutching her side.
By the seven, that was something. What'd I tell you? Nice scratch on me. None that last, at least. Glad my little guy got to see it. Oh, sure. Just a nasty bruise by the feel of it. May have to lay off the blasting beasties for a day or two after. The fighters lament. But speaking of fighters, you're not too shabby yourself. Know your way around a row, don't you? It's not the bloodshed that feels good. It's the not dying. Didn't catch your name, though. I'm Mari. Pleasure's mine. You all right? Dunno about you, but I never was afraid of bugs. Then again, if you hadn't rolled in when you did, I might be whistling Teedle-Dee in a void-woken's belly by now. I owe you one. Bug squasher, are you? Impressive. Hate to cut this short, but I ought to dash off. My boy's waiting for me. Mind lowering the bridge, though? I find myself slightly indisposed for the moment. There you are, my good-looking lad.
Ma!
Let me get a good look at you. You're okay?
Of course I am, Ma. Are you?
Fit as a fiddle. And twice the size.
And the house?
She'll be all right. And how's my little spider monkey doing? Safe and sound?
Spider monkey? You mean dragon?
Come here, you.
Mother and son fall into a tight embrace. One tear rolls down Mari's nose, falls on the black stubble on Barin's head. She strokes the wet drop away, smiling. Mari seems oblivious to you. Her eyes are closed, her lips turned in a serene smile as she strokes Barin's head.
My boy, my good boy.
Hey, wait, one sec. Ma! Ma, look! Thank you so much for helping my Ma. All those void-woken. Sheesh, thank the gods everyone is okay.
Thank the gods. Oh, thank the mum. And our friend here too. Believe it when I see it, but hey, I know a good arm when I see one. I'll tell my cousin Ryman what you did. He's real high up in the Order, and he's visiting Driftwood as we speak. Could be he has some good work for you. Some dwarves, locals, attacked a Magister caravan. Must have been sorcerers inside. Voidwoken must have sensed them. Came in formation like a proper battalion. Never seen anything like it. No match for the bomber pair at the Bridgeside Cottage. Right, Baron?
As rain.
We're off into town. Best of luck to you, mate. And come say hi if you make your way inside.
I found something. I've spotted something.
What's on your mind?
them warm, no one to keep them safe. Not my eggs, our eggs! All the family, all the eggs, every last one. Big Marge, sir. Big Marge will tell you everything. I saw! They were stolen! The babies! The eggs! Something took them! Horror! Thief! Horrible thief! It came in the night! It took the eggs! It scrambled away fast! Big! Big as a cow! Big as a house! And many legs! Too many! If I showed you, you could bring them back! You could bring them back! Map! Show me your map!
In a flurry of feathers, she leaps up and pecks a small hole in your map.
That's where they are! I went after my babies, I saw where they went! But they've changed so much! Bring them back!
The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raised...
Ain't up to how. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Too bad.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistle.
Running off.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidvoken's gross gullet piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt, Scaleskin. What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fedor. You may pass, Lizard. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back. But as long as there's
This town doesn't look much equipped to entertain a nobleman like myself.
Not a call for the junk you sell, then.
Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you! A sword-slinging stranger if ever I saw one. I'm surprised those robed fellas aren't attacking you on sight. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. 'Cause that's where all the queer ones go. Clanking dwarves, dozy lizards. I even saw him drag a void-woken down there in the dead of night. Don't know what's going on in that tavern, but it must be a freak show in there.
Maybe I'm glad I ain't pulling carts of stinking fish round no more. But what's a beast to do if not pull? Here's hoping. I've heard many a bull that's been sold off after the work's dried up. I doubt they were happy.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I. I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die.
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of magic. Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
But don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, Tun, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough. Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough. Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the void woken anytime soon?
Doubt it. Now they've got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
The Hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind. You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now. Easier said than done, Ada. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Magisters will get rid of the Void Woken anytime soon?
Doubt it. Now they've got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
The Hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose.
Void Woken. God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold Stevens.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
I've got me a sweet deal.
Back for a return visit. Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Yep.
Sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the Void Woken anytime soon?
Doubt it. Now they've got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
The Hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
Thing out of my mind.
The kind that don't fancy
You
starving,
made it back,
along with the
safe
rest of this town.
and sound. That's all you gotta think about right
It's
now.
all well and good for you with your
Easier
rations.
said than done,
We've
Ada.
got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Could be worse, you know.
Hard to see how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Could be worse, you know.
Hard to say how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Tell me, you heard any news?
Nothing good. Void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're
Woke
here
up
to
this
protect
morning
us.
in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind.
Yes, of course.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
Back for a return visit? Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing out of my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
Yep.
Another bolt went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the
Quite
void
the
one?
tale on you. Penny for a sick dog. A glance at the dog's miserable face tells you it's sick, all right. The dog lies there quietly, clearly in great pain.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude?
Keep steady. People still need potions. We'll be by soon enough.
Master did.
Smells worse
Huh?
over here.
Wait a minute. Master hurted me? Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go now. But first, I have a thing I need to do.
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Cold steel it is, then.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. How was my livelihood? Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions.
You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
How you holding up?
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He hands you the contents.
That's your lot. Go on then. Get lost, you freeloader. I'm working here.
Fire, cold and poison. But void walking? God knows what stopped those beasts.
Cold steel it is.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing in my mind. You needing supplies? With anything more?
Could be worse, you know.
Hard to see how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Tell us, you heard any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine.
Until later, then.
Yes.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Why don't come over? Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, Tun, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Until later, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right,
Not
as
called
long as
for
I
the
don't
junkie
think about it too
something.
much.
You're safe among friends.
What
Never
can I
forget
offer?
it.
Nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients.
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Yeah. You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the void woken anytime soon?
Doubt it. Now they've got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
The hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose.
Void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Hear ye! Bishop
That's close enough, Reptile. I thought you lizards were all hiding behind your imperial walls. What are you doing in Driftwood?
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Grumbling, the Magister turns back to her patrol.
24 noblemen for insubordination! Latest news! Fresh from the War Owl! Hear all about it! Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What a jolly Justinia! Queen of the dwarves! Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of a sword. No, ma'am. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was by them vile, low-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do them like Magister Raymond did old Lady Seaver. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Ain't looking too good for them lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit the ancient empire and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't you? Ain't no one left standing when you treat them to death, Fog. You're lucky to be so far from home, and no mistake.
War's a brewing, my friend. Special prices for you. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
That's all you've got to think about, Frank.
Divine Order to march against the ancient empire!
You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there. Well, hello.
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free to look. Just don't touch nothing unless you're going to make my purse jingle. Fair travels, friend.
Any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere.
Thank the Divine, you're here.
Bobby, would you have cooled down upstairs? I fill my damn cup.
Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with malice and injustice by foul sorcerers, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abettancy of the treacherous dwarven kingdom, the Divine Order of Lucian is now led by his son's most trusted intimate and advised Dallis, Hammer of the Divine, Saviour of the Sorcerers, and new deliverer of the peoples of Rivellon. The Hammer shall take counsel from her most trusted advisors. Hail to the Hammer, 7 times blessed.
Dallas leads the order. Lucian will be rolling in his grave.
The dead don't care. It's the living who can be
Career is at stake. Not leaving my sight for a while longer.
But Mom!
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want, lizard? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Manchesters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Mom!
This isn't the ancient empire, serpent. Now answer my bloody question. What are you doing here?
Fine, Bab, you're a hero.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Mom!
Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. He's a deviant named Higba, a grubby little tinkerer with a criminal mind. Some of my magisters have vanished from Driftwood lately, and I'm certain that fiend is responsible.
and play with the others?
No can do, Chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled.
Do, Chickadee. You're not leaving my sight.
Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time.
But, Ma...
Balbix, would you have me die of thirst?
Right away.
Fill my damn cup.
Blessings of the divine upon you, my lady. My husband and I were just sitting down for a picnic under the sun. We haven't much to offer, but would you care to join us? Nonsense, come. Sit, sit. We are pilgrims, and pilgrims share no matter what. There you go, all cozy. So tell me, are you heading to Arks like we are? Nicholas and I wouldn't miss Lucian's Day for the world. That's so lovely to hear. The more pilgrims pray for his return, the sooner Lucian will walk among us once more, just like the prophecy says. So come, let us break bread and strengthen ourselves for the journey. We have a sacred duty ahead of us in the holy city of Arks.
You eat, drink, and have a good time of it with Glory and her husband Nicholas. After the meal, you express your thanks and take your leave.
Tell me. Well, keep steady. People still need portions. They'll be by soon enough.
Joe's a good swimmer.
Ugh, look at you. You're all scaly.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
And got you a tail. That's disgusting.
Don't be rude, Ben. She's a lizard. It's not our fault she's ugly.
They stare at you in disbelief. Then they start laughing.
You're weird. We're waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon.
He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy.
Fort Joy?
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back. Cool. How did you know that?
Lizard, have you seen our friend Joe?
Tell them the truth about Joe. They have to grow up sometime. The truth hurts, but they'll get over it.
Kids are resilient. Tell them the truth.
The horror grows on their little faces.
No, that's a horrible thing to say. I bet it wasn't Joe. I bet it was someone else's leg in that icky shark.
She bursts into tears, then looks from you to her and back again, then starts crying too. After a moment, the crying subsides. Ben and Harriet snuggle into you.
So where's Joe? My mum says that's a rude word. You're supposed to say tinkle.
I think we should go home. Come on, Ben. Thank you, lizard lady. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, lizard.
They skip away, still children, but now, somehow, older than before.